Howdy y'all, today I wanted to finally tackle Mackage. It's finally time. I tackled Moose Knuckle last time, so I wanted to sit down and chat with you guys about Mackage, the brand, the company, the collections, and everything and anything I have to throw out as far as my opinion goes and my experiences with Mackage. I've got my stack of notes and pictures and everything here to share with you guys. So today we are talking about Mackage. For any of you who don't know the company, it is a Canadian company that was birthed out of Montreal. It doesn't say that on their website, which confuses me a lot, but a lot of their reps and a lot of people know it from being a brand from Montreal. It has been around since 1999, so it's been around for quite a while, but as per usual, most companies take a little time to gain some momentum. I have found that in the last 3 years is when Mackage kind of blew up and became relevant in the coat and fashion industry. It's kind of blown up again in the last couple of years. Most people know these coats and these styles from this particular style. This is the K coat. Now, I would show you guys what it looks like on me, but I don't personally own any of these coats, and there are a couple of reasons why, which I will touch on as always in a couple of minutes. So that's the K coat. It is a 3/4 length jacket. It is double paneled, so it's got a zipper on the outside and a panel on the inside that zips up as well with a massive furry hood. And then there's also another style, the K coat, which is basically just the shorter version to this particular coat, and this is what it looks like. Same coat, basically just shorter. Same idea as far as the fit goes. Most people recognize these coats from those two styles. I consider them to be more of their staple styles, because a bunch of like the rest of their collection, at least their down collection, is basically designed. There's like 20 different versions of these two coats. So if you're looking to purchase something that's a little bit different from what everybody else has, check them out. Again, everything and anything I mentioned in the videos will be in the description box down below, so I will leave all the links down below for you guys to check out. So Mackage also has a kids collection that came out in 2012, and they recently came out with a handbag collection in 2013 that they've really amped up in the last year. I saw on their website a couple of handbags. There was these small little crossbody like bags I saw last year, which were really adorable for their spring collection. They were like this big and had like a little arrow through it, which kept it closed. I love those bags. I never got my hands on one, but I loved those bags. So there are options. There is a men's, a women's, and a kids collection. So you could dress up the whole family in Mackage if you wanted to. Now, a lot of you may find Mackage very reminiscent of Rudsack, which is another company that produces very similar coats. I think, I may be wrong on this, which I will leave the proper information down below. I think Rudsack has been around a little longer, so I don't know. There is a little bit of a controversy there. I'm not going to touch on it very much because I don't know all the details, but there's that. So if you want to check out Rudsack, I will leave all their info as well down below. Now, Mackage, again, produces a couple of collections. They do a down collection, which the K and the Adali are very much a part of. They produce a wool collection and a leather collection, so their collections are actually quite extensive. Most people don't know that they produce more than just these two styles of coats. There's like dozens upon dozens of other styles to choose from Mackage. So if you want to check them out, again, I'll leave the link to their official website down below. But a lot of people know the K and the Adali. They're a lighter weight option to a typical down parka. Mackage is very well known for being very fitted, very form-fitting, to being very fashion-forward coats with a little bit of the function to it as well. Now, the way they are designed, I give them that much. They are designed very intelligently to be very warm coats. They have an outer shell to the coat, the baguette down, and an inner liner. Producing that kind of layering system basically helps trap a lot of the heat on the inside, but as well stops a lot of the wind from coming in. That is one of the major features that I really like about Mackage, is the inner zipper. The fact that it completely covers you from like head to waist is fabulous. You don't necessarily have to wear a scarf because that inner piece is already keeping you nice and warm, which I really like, and it's not suffocate, like it doesn't feel like it's suffocating you either, which is a plus. But overall, the other massive thing that Mackage has stayed away from doing as far as when it comes to their more parka-like coats, they don't stitch right through the bag of down, which is a massive problem with a lot of companies that do kind of a thinner, lighter weight fabric down parka thing. If you stitch right through the bag of down, the fabric is so thin, 9 times out of 10, that when you're stitching right through it, you're producing so many tiny holes, and that's where you're going to get a lot of the down seepage coming out of the coat. So that's probably one of the more massive problems that a lot of companies face. Without having that stitching right through, obviously you're stopping from a lot of that down coming out. That is one thing I have noticed, that there really aren't any complaints with Mackage with down coming out, because they've literally trapped it into the coat so well. So it's going to trap a lot of the heat. They're very puffy yet form-fitting coats. None of them have belts for the most part, or at least not that I know of, except for like their wool collection, but that's a little bit of a different story. Their down collection, again, is sewn to be very tailored. And this is where I have a problem when it comes to Mackage. So I noticed it last year, and I found the same problem this year. I don't care what explanation they've given. I have gotten a quote-unquote explanation from the rep. I don't necessarily buy it. I think that they are very much on track to do the same kind of thing that Moose Knuckle is doing, which is making and fitting their coats to a very specific market, a very specific group of people, which is I think in the long run is going to burn them, and it's just, you're gonna have to open it up to a wider market if you want to become even bigger and even more successful. I don't know why this has happened or what has gone wrong, but 3 years ago when I had tried these coats on, I genuinely like these coats quite a bit. They fit very comfortably. I fit between a small and a medium. Again, it's all going to depend on how many layers you want to wear underneath. If I was going to layer underneath, I would have definitely gone into a medium. If I was going to just stick with like a long sleeve top or wear it more as a dress coat, I would have gone with the small. But that's pretty usual for me. That's pretty normal for me with most other companies. Now, I'm personally not sensitive to having to jump into like other sizes. Like if I gotta wear a large, I don't care. If it fits, that's all that matters to me. But in the last year, I don't know, the inner lining has the stitching has shrunk like 2 sizes. The shoulders are made so incredibly small. Getting the jacket on alone is a struggle. Like even getting your arm into the sleeve is such a struggle. Like I know the way the rep explained it is the idea is it's supposed to encase you. It's supposed to feel like wearing a sleeping bag that's nicely fitted, and it's supposed to look less puffy. But I'm sorry, if I can't even get my arms into the coat, I'm not gonna spend $800 on the coat. I'm not gonna spend $900. I'm not even gonna spend $5 on the coat. If I can't get it on, it ain't happening. I think that's a massive problem that they are going to run into, and that's a problem I've had with a lot of my customers, is that they can't even put the coat on comfortably with even like a cardigan on, and it's ridiculous. You need to wear something else on if this is going to be your everyday jacket. You can't just go running outside in a t-shirt and in this coat. It's not going to keep you warm. It'll keep you warm to a degree, but if you're standing outside for more than 30 minutes, yeah, most likely you're not going to be as warm as you possibly could be with a layer underneath. So that is probably my massive problem, is the sizing and the fitting. The sizes do range from a double extra small to an extra large. How accurate their fitting and their sizing is, I don't know. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you are looking to purchase a Mackage winter down parka, go to a store that carries that particular style you're looking for. You need to try these coats on, because their sizing is incredibly misleading. I don't know if any of you have had that problem. If you have, please let me know in the comment section down below. Let's start this conversation. But besides that, that is probably one of the bigger problems that I have with Mackage. Overall, they do use real fur. That is a thing that they do. With the coats that have the lining on the inside of the hood, it is rabbit fur. On the outside, it is raccoon. Now, they didn't specify whether it's Asiatic raccoon. It's not the little furry, little bandit creature that you see running around Toronto. It's not that kind of a raccoon. If you're interested, just Google search the image of an Asiatic raccoon. Very similar, but I think it's like the same family tree as well, animal-wise, but not the same raccoon that you and I are used to here in Toronto. But as well, they use down. They don't specify what down, but apparently they use very traceable and ethical sourced down, and their nano down is synthetic again, so I'm sure they just mass produce whatever, wherever. And so those are kind of just the tech features. Mackage as well is a dry clean only coat. There are leather features on the coat. There is fur on the coat, so you can't just throw it into your washer. I will link the website to the only dry cleaner I recommend in Toronto, and they go as far as pickup and delivery outside. Like, they've gone out to Niagara, so if they go really far out. So if you want to get in contact with them, I will leave all their info down below if you want to check them out. What else? There's the wool collection, which I have fallen in love with personally. Out of all the collections that Mackage does do, I love wool coats because you can wear them basically from fall into the winter time. I like to wear my wool coats in through the winter time for dinner. Like, I don't necessarily like wearing my parkas to dinner because it's so much coat. I prefer wearing wool coats just because it looks nicer. You can dress it up better, and it's a different type of look. There is one particular wool coat that I've fallen in love with, that I wrote down the names to, a couple of the coats that I looked up, that I had never seen before in person. But there's the Isabel black belted solid wool coat, as well as the Cicely black pebble leather Moto jacket. So they also have a leather collection, leather jackets. A lot of companies do leather jackets, but they don't necessarily fit them as well. So I would be interested to see what these particular coats fit like. I haven't had a problem with Mackage's wool coats in recent years. In the last 2 years, I feel like the fit of that hasn't changed. I don't know why the down ones have, but I'm just going to leave that there. And as well as the Kimber Bordeaux Luxe lightweight down coat with hood. This particular coat is a part of their lightweight collection for down pieces. Now, I did just say I probably wouldn't consider buying a down coat from them. This is probably, like, if I had to pick one, this is probably the only one I would pick. It's very similar looking to a lightweight down piece that Arc'teryx did, but this one's just kind of, I love the color of it. I like the look of it. I will leave the links to each of the pages of these coats in the description box down below, so you guys can check out all the coats that I mentioned. I think that's everything. Warranty-wise, I think is the last massive thing I have to touch on. Warranty, it seems like it's very similar to most other companies out there. It's manufacturer defects are covered, so zippers, seams, the buttons. I think there are some buttons on some of the other styles of coats. So you're covered. You should be able to get a contact and a hold of the manufacturer. If you can't, I would highly suggest you go back to the store that you purchased the coat from. You should at least be able to get the rep's info, and they should be able to help you out, or the retailer themselves should be able to help you out, get in contact and deal with the warranty problems. So there's that. Aside from that, there are, case-by-case issues. I haven't seen any massive problems. The only problem that I saw last year that also turned me off from the down coats was the paneling on the inside on a lot of the parkas, where there's the double zipper panel, like there's the inner zipper and then there's the outside zipper. The panels on the inside were actually, like, the stitching where they're stitched to the inside of the coat was coming undone. And we're not talking like 2 or 3 months into wearing the coats, we're talking like 2 weeks. So that's kind of a massive problem. That's the only problem I would throw out there for you guys to keep in the back of your mind. I am going to assume the rep did mention that they did fix that problem, and that problem no longer is a problem this year. But if any of you are facing that problem, let me know. I kind of want to know if anybody is having that problem. Still, to this day, I think I've touched on everything. I think so. I think I've touched on absolutely everything. If you guys have any other questions, as always, please leave them in the comment section down below. I've been chatting with a bunch of you, and it's been great talking to a lot of you who have left comments and questions. Or, as always, you can reach me on my Twitter or my Instagram, which as well I will leave in the description box down below, along with everything else that I've mentioned. I hope you guys are having fun shopping for your winter coats. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!